playing the standard either. So it's very unique metas going up against each other. But as you said, Semper, after Semper takes the battle at the third, shuts down the third, he's just able to skyrocket so far ahead economically that PiLiPiLi can't really ever reinforce quick enough.
Right. And, with the addition of the Liberators also, that makes things even more difficult. Trying to fight around Liberators is not easy. Looks like game 2 now loading up. Looks like that will also be on Prion Terraces.
Pretty much the most standard map, actually not even close to the most standard map, but the most common map we're seeing in the map pool at the moment. Lots of Prion Terraces, whether it be ZVP or ZVZ or TVP. It just comes up a lot, not so much in TVT, but we'll see. Here we are on Prion Terraces, the bottom right-hand corner. The green Protoss player representing Storm Gaming, it is PiLiPiLi.
And his opponent spawning up in the top left. It is our yellow Terran Gravity's Semper. So Semper did pretty well last game. He had good scouting as well. He saw the Twilight Council, saw that, maybe need to be prepared for Blink. But in the meantime, he just overall handled that very well.
He definitely did. This game, it looks like both players are going to be opening up about the same way, essentially the same way. Actually, I take that back as how I say it. It's going to be a Reaper Fast Expand for Semper, which I think is going to go a little bit better. In game 1, it was kind of awkward because I feel like for the opening, Semper was scared and kind of mind-gaming his opponent, and then just kind of fell flat on his face, and that is why PiLiPiLi was able to secure a third, pretty much unencumbered in game 1.
Yeah, Billy really got that third fast and didn't have to worry about it for a long time. It looks like another standard fast expand also from PiLiPiLi. So nothing too cheeky, at least at the start of this game.
And I wouldn't really categorize either of these players as doing those cheeky things. Every once in a while, I have seen PiLiPiLi go for a Stargate proxy, something of the sort, but I highly doubt it. I like the early SCV scout from Semper, something you don't see quite as much. There's natural going down. It is just a straight up, not even Reaper Fast Expand, but a reactor off the back of that Rax. I guess I wouldn't be surprised technically to see Hellions, yet it's just an overall more economic build going for the Reaper Fast Expand, which almost always gets shut down by the Mothership Core.
Yeah, I was going to say, Reapers, they have a much harder time with the pylon overcharges now.
It is hard, and you pretty much meet your opponent about the same time that it comes out. That is the Mothership Core, so overall, it's too hard to deal with. SCV Scout from Semper. That's something I actually really enjoy is possible within Legacy of the Void. As a Terran, you don't have to go Reaper Fast Expand. You can go Rax and do a quick factory. You can take a reactor, or you can do Reaper. You have a little bit more options opened up, at least in the very early build order states of the game.
Yeah, we do actually, we're going to have another factory here for Semper, so it looks like that's Semper's choice here. And just so far, again, pretty standard stuff.
Standard SCV. SCV the Xel'Naga, I presume, in the top. Yeah. Coming around a little bit of an awkward position, looking to possibly, I guess, scout a hidden third. And by the way, actually no, just on Prion Terraces, the Xel'Nagas are so important in the mid to late game. You can spot so many things going on. I'm surprised not quite as many players take the Xel'Nagas in the top right, bottom left, but now Marines of Semper, they don't care about that because they're preparing to deal with one Adept, and to be quite frank, yeah, you have to prepare this much to deal with one Adept.
Yeah. Adepts, they can two-shot one Marine, so they're not the easiest thing to deal with. But we do have Blink again coming out now for PiLiPiLi, a Cyclone from Semper. Pretty normal Terran stuff. Cyclones are great at shutting down Warp Prism drops. So pretty good move there.
And especially on Prion Terraces, where your main is just ginormous, you definitely need those Cyclones and Marines to hold it. Mama Core kills the SCV, but that SCV ends up, I think, getting the Twilight Council vision. However, as you mentioned before, and as we've said, it's so dang common that I wouldn't really put it at anything different, other than it's going for Blink, which, in the last game, really with those Adepts of PiLiPiLi, just needs to get right up into the face, and Not necessarily going Resonating Glaives early, but you know what? It doesn't hurt, and it's just so dang strong, those openings. However, PiLiPiLi, he will not bend into the meta. He's his own man. He's his own player.
And I'm wondering if this time we'll see another expand, or if we're going to see maybe a 2-base blink. But
oh, Stalker, get out of there! No, brother! Ah, he's gonna die.
The probe down there at that gold base is suggesting that we will see an expansion soon from Pili, and there it goes.
Like it's one with those stalkers. It's one of the scenes in the movie where the guy's poisoned or something. You're like, no, and he's like dying in place, and they can't do anything. Like, ah, can't quite do it. Cyclones, man, when cyclones lock on, it's painful. I don't even care what race you are. You're like, I thought I could get away, but evidently it just doesn't matter how far I am from you. You still shoot me.
Yeah, I'm surprised by the range every time, and I play a lot. I've seen it a lot, but still, every time I'm like, it's that far. But now we do have that Resonating Glaives coming up right after Blink has finished, so those adepts will be even stronger. I believe that is a 45% attack speed increase. That is pretty big.
It is 45% attack speed, which makes the adepts not necessarily quote-unquote one-shot Marines, but it's pretty darn close to looking like it's one-shotting Marines. They are quick at it, but it's kind of interesting moving into Legacy of the Void. For Protoss especially, instead of seeing early +2 attack in a lot of matchups, you do just see, okay, I get Blink, I get Resonating Glaives, I get Charge. Those are my basic upgrades instead of 1-1 a lot of situations, and it's just, they're so powerful, especially Adepts. But for now, Observer moves in to Semper. This is basically PiLiPiLi saying, you know what, I want to play my macro style out, but at this point, this is where I need to scout you and be a little bit reactionary. He spots the 3rd CC, can say, cool, it's going to go like last game, I just need to position a little bit better in some of these engagements, get right on top of the Terran army.
Yeah, and Stalker's moving out, looking like they want to do at least some harass, be pretty annoying, and maybe even get some possible scouting again.
By the way, I love that PiLiPiLi is doing the exact same build as he did last game, because I truly did think in last game there was some control errors, maybe some more adepts, whatever, but this works for him, and he's saying, I just made a little error, this is a best of 3, I gotta be careful, but I think I could do it, and this time the Stalker's getting right up in the face of the Terran army much farther, or much quicker than he did last game, managed to pick off a siege tank, and force Semper into a much more scared position, but Semper is not playing quite as scared as he was last game. However, I think he should be, because there's a Warp Prism very much on the way with the DT Shrine.
Yeah, that Dark Shrine is going to be finished rather soon. We have Immortals, we got Blink Stalkers again. And I think Pili, if he chose to move forward, might be able to get just a little bit more damage done. However, the Immortal, it's got to be pretty careful.
No siege tank. With no siege tank cover, these Stalkers are going to have a fine time dealing with the army. It's really important to be leapfrogging forward with these siege tanks, but if they go a little bit too far forward, the Blink can pick them off. And there's the DT Shrine coming on in for PiLiPiLi. By the way, you can see Semper in the top right-hand corner does have the Xel'Naga, so he will almost see if a Warp Prism comes in on that angle. That's what I love about it. Cyclone is ready. Everything is ready in this main to defend, however. We'll see if he can, because the Warp Prism's going bottom left. I love that one Adept. It's like, you better be scared. You better be freaking scared, man.
Adepts, though, they are scary. I would be scared. Here we go. Looks like we're going to have another attack here soon from Pili. This is a lot of army that Resonating Glaives has finished. So
Semper just doesn't quite have as much bio as he had before. With taking a quicker 3rd, last game, he almost was able to defend because he was a little bit scared of the overall drop and had a lot more bio. And now you have Adepts in the natural at the same time. The 3rd base, probably the Stalker's going to move in, but for now the Adepts just wrecking it. And this is what I'm saying. Even if you know it's coming, you still lose 12 SCVs. Even if you have bio there, you still lose 12 SCVs.
Yeah, a lot was lost there, and it did distract Semper a little bit. He has to remake those SCVs, but now Pili, again, moving forward, blinking back after doing a little bit of damage, just slowly picking away here at Semper's army.
I love that with PiLiPiLi. He's definitely got the micro to be all over the map. For now, he mixed in a lot more Adepts than before and should be able to get right on top of the army, especially if there's a wall with the 3rd CC. It's just a little bit easier to get straight up on top of it. Now, though, he's be careful, stand in the middle of the map. There is the 4th CC, or pardon me, 4th Nexus. Both players are taking it about the same time, or actually, we don't see an SCV for Semper. I thought the Adept was an SCV. But now it looks like Semper's moving out. There's the 4th CC. PiLiPiLi, as long as he holds on to it, is going to be fine. And with the map architecture, it's just a lot different than the last game. PiLiPiLi had to defend that 4th. In this situation, yes, he has to defend it, but the way Semper moves into it is not going to be quite as simple. He's not going to move straight on top of it just by attacking.
Yeah, PiLiPiLi should have, you know, with the high ground, he should be able to defend it, no problem. But so far, PiLiPiLi, he's again doing around the same army count that we saw in the last game. He is getting Storm now, High Templars being warped in, 2 Immortals at a time. And if we look at the army supplies, you know, they're about even 108 now for PiLiPiLi, 98 for Semper. So they're actually rather even.
They are quite even this time, and there was a little bit of a discrepancy last time, I guess, but it more comes down to, I feel like, the positioning, especially with leapfrogging siege tanks. Nice Adepts take the Zelnog on the top right just to deny the vision of Semper. PiLiPiLi was kind of repositioning up at the top right for a little while, but Semper's got to be so careful with a lot of these ledges on the map and the siege tanks being flown around, and with Blink. Easily, if he's caught out of position, PiLiPiLi can snipe him. But for now, PiLiPiLi, he's waiting until Storm. He's waiting until he gets the Protoss Dream Gateway Army.
And behind this, though, Semper is getting Liberators. Liberators can really help you almost, you know, decide where your opponent doesn't go. Because you don't just want to walk into a Liberation zone. You've got to be a little bit careful when there are Liberators out on the field.
Especially when Semper has a sensor tower up, he is ready to liberate any zone. He's ready to get ready, and it's one thing it's interesting because Semper knows about the 4th nexus of PiLiPiLi, and it's one of those things where before he could not go right, PiLiPiLi would go left and attack his 3rd, but now with the sensor tower, he can't start being aggressive. However, PiLiPiLi knows that. He says, cool, you got the sensor tower down, kind of counterintuitively. He knows he's got to take the engagement soon. Just getting ready to do that. High Templars on the right-hand side, there's only one Liberator. Easily these High Templars can get in a nice position, but we're pretty much waiting for the Adepts to cue the sign of battle, do the battle cry to jump straight on top of the army.
Yeah, with only one Liberator here, it should be easier for Billy to manage, but the Shades, they go forward. Liberator looks like it's going to go down soon. Storms, great storms go down here.
Great storms, and this time the Adept get right on top of the army and on top of the siege tanks, killing them quite early, but now there's just not that much AoE. The army of Semper does have to pull back. PiLiPiLi's pushing forward, and he's not going to give up. This time Blink straight on top of the siege tank. He's not being able to get quite as much damage done. Actually, I think the siege tanks did friendly fire damage before, with the Adepts being right on top of them. And this time PiLiPiLi just barely coming out ahead, and that siege tank not saved by Semper. His medevac micro is kind of not being quite as good as it should be, and loses just about everything. This time the Adepts getting exactly where they needed to go. I'd love to see a feedback, but for now, Semper, he has nothing, and there's the GG.
GG.
1-1. Unlike last game, just positionally, he got a phenomenal position, and the siege tanks didn't actually get shots off onto the main army of PiLiPiLi for a while. The Adepts went straight on top of them, but because there was enough of them and how they're spread out, the siege tanks shot themselves, and the Adepts were able to kill them and get on the bio, and then it was just beautiful storms to boot. Overall,
yeah. There were great storms. I remember seeing a siege tank load up and go fly away, only to get picked off by stalkers. So very, very well done there from PiLiPiLi.
It is now 1-1 in this best of 3. I'm going to check out the bracket just to see if there's been any updates. Doesn't look like it so far. An interesting note. Are you sure is there anything weird with the bracket? Because I still have 0-0
Do you
as people.
see the 99-0?
I do see 99-0, yet I feel like No Regret would have won that. Unless Star-Tailed Bob is secretly someone else. I guess it's not Star-Tailed anymore, it's Spenu, whatever. However, we're going to see whoever wins this, whoever goes 2-1 at this point, will face.
Whoever does win this 2-1 will go on to face Practice X in the brackets.
My BattleNet kicked me off. Dang it, BattleNet. Yeah, no, I figured that out. Don't worry, Feardragon. Skype is just a little bit more like, hey, it kicked you off. I'm gonna give you alert sound because this sucks. And then Zoom just says you were kicked off. You want to reconnect? Not quite as it's a little bit more passive aggressive as how direct Skype is.
All right.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
I was saying what sucks about my internet is not that it's not great, but that it goes out for a second and then comes back. It's not like it goes out and I just can't cast for the rest of the night. It's that it goes out for half a second and then it's like, oh wait, sorry, I got it back, guys. I got it back. But I'm already out of everything, so.
Yeah, that's frustrating. I used to have internet like that too. It would go up for 30 seconds So, and like exactly, I remember timing it.
You saw literally right there. That was 10, 15 seconds, maybe even less than that. But it went out.